Welcome everyone to Answers On. With me today here in Davos, Mark Weinberger, CEO and Chair at EY, Brian Peccarelli, COO of Customer Markets for Thomson Reuters. Great to have you both with us. Great to have you back on Answers On, Mark. Look, a pretty broad first question, and that is, what is worrying your customers right now, if worrying is the right word? Because I know generally you're pretty optimistic, Mark.
Yeah, Axel, I think we've gone to a period of maybe excessive optimism to some excessive pessimism. So I think the slowdown is real. We are seeing the high level of growth of the last couple of years, synchronized growth, be more episodic around the world. So people are wondering, is the geopolitics or the trade issues, is the Brexit issue, is the yellow jacket issue going to really take away from that long-term growth? But the underlying economics of the investment is still occurring.
Okay, but do you think it's going to take away from the long-term growth?
Well, it has to, because it's delaying decision making, and uncertainty is a tax in itself. And so, yes, it's going to take away from the long-term growth, but it's not turning us negative into recession at this point at all, in my view.
But how long before it hits business?
Well, it's hitting business now in terms of slowing down the investment process, but it's not turning them into a situation where we're all of a sudden going to stop hiring or we're not going to invest in CapEx. That is still going on.
Okay, Brian, I imagine you're saying the same thing, hearing the same thing from your clients. Cautious rather than gloomy is something we've heard over the past few days.
No, exactly. I'd say it's not a pessimistic, it's a cautious. So cautious does start delaying or have you think twice about a decision and a future investment. But there's also those competitive pressure, especially in the technology area and everything else, that you've got to keep investing. So we're seeing that as well, but a little longer in decision making.
But this, I mean, let's face it, for your business and your business, this is actually a pretty good time, because anyone in the compliance profession is gonna make hay right now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, as Brian said, transformation is still going to occur. And transformation could be going on for many reasons. M&A, we're still seeing a lot of. IPOs are still at records. So what's happening is either companies have to transform to grow, or they have to come and synchronize or some have come up with synergies to protect their bottom line. That's always good for our business because we're helping them restructure their capital.
And I imagine we're, in terms of compliance, when we talk about trade or we talk about Brexit, that is what our customers are really looking for right now.
Yeah. I think it's really, you have to be prepared for the uncertainty that's out there in the regulatory environment. You're not sure which direction things are going. So again, the more proactive ones are prepared for it in their kind of optionality by installing the right technology, installing the right processes, and thinking through different scenarios so they're better prepared for whatever happens.
I thought it was interesting, Mark, what Steve Paluca from Bain said to us just now when it comes to investment decisions based on companies' AI strategies and how big a role that plays in his decision making. The consultancies tell me that still only about 15-20% of companies are really on board with this. Most of the others are still in that wait and see mode. How dangerous is that for those other companies?
Well, you look at the facts on the S&P 500 alone, right, Axel? So 20 years ago, an average life of an S&P 500 company was 33 years. It's now down to just over 15. So that's because you have to transform before somebody else gets your market share. So it's incredibly important. But I'm not surprised that AI is slow in the uptake. To get to AI, artificial intelligence, of course, and predictive analytics, you need to get the data, you need to have technology backbone and platform in place. Then you have to come up with your business strategy. AI doesn't just transform you. It's all part of a longer process. And I think you're seeing businesses in the early phase of investments, the returns will come.
I imagine, though, in your own business, your own profession, it's permeating now, right?
Absolutely. So as we've talked about in the past, we hired 65,000 people last year. We now have 2,000 robots.
But that doesn't mean 63,000 humans.
It does not, because what's great for our people is it's taking those mundane tasks of looking at billings or entering data, analyzing contracts, and taking it off their plate so they can focus on judgment issues, helping our clients in other areas. So it is adding to the productivity, which I think we'll hopefully see in the GDP down the road of an increased productivity growth rate, which we need.
And Brian, for us at Thomson Reuters, this is something we're, again, I wouldn't say it's, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, it's not permeating our company right now, but it's something we're pushing to a lot of our customers right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. And as Mark said, it's taken a while to figure out that right combination between the vast amounts of data you have, the technology, and then kind of that domain expertise to train it. and to use it. And we spent the last several years working hard at figuring that out of what's the right solution for customers, what gives them the best value, how to best leverage it. And we've come out with products last year. We're coming out with future products, rolling out on a pretty constant basis now since we figured it out. And I think others are at that stage too, that they've been working hard at it. You just haven't seen the fruits of that labor come out yet.
One of the point of this, Axel, which is really interesting, what you're seeing now is companies align more together to bring solutions to the marketplace. So Brian and I, our teams, at Thomson Reuters and EY, are a great example of bringing that domain knowledge with the technical expertise and the software capabilities to create value added, and that's going to be the future, I think.
Okay, well that is a perfect point to finish. A nice high. Thank you so much, Mark Weinberger, EY, Brain Peccarelli, Thomson Reuters. That is it for Answers On. I'm Axel Threlfall for Reuters.